Welcome to our series of Harmony in Modern Flamenco. In these videos I will explain the basics of the whole thing, and of course if you are interested to really learn these materials, then we need to do it in Skype personally, because there I can tell you exactly how you can use the stuff to make music from any level you have. And ideally we should have some very basic knowledge about the notes and chords, etc. Basic things which will be enough to get you into the path of understanding what Paco de Lucia expanded and what he implemented, what was before and what is now there. Okay, anyway, because this is to give you an idea only, and I want to clear this. Basics are very important. Flamenco comes from the Andalusian cadence, which have 4 chords. And these 4 chords, now we will talk about this in the key of E minor. We will write with Roman numeral some chords here: first minor, Roman numeral, flat 7, flat 6, and fifth 7, flat 9. In this case we will explain it in E minor key. So we have E minor, first minor, then D is a flat 7, C is a flat 6, and B 7 flat 9 as the fifth 7 flat 9 chord. In other words, we have these 4 chords as follows: first minor, flat 7, flat 6, and fifth 7 flat 9, B 7 flat 9. So we have E minor, D, C, and B7 flat 9. Right? These 4 chords here, we are talking in the key of E minor to simplify things. Of course, this can be done in any key. Like if we play in D minor key, then it will be first minor, flat 7, flat 6, fifth 7 flat 9. This is por medio. If we want to talk por arriba, then this will be first minor, flat 7, flat 6, and fifth 7 flat 9. In Taranta key, that will be first minor, flat 7, flat 6, fifth 7 flat 9, etc. So the structural thing of these 4 chords is the same in any key. The important thing here to understand is first to clear up the major misunderstanding, to try to fit these chords into as coming from scales. This is one mistake many people do. So we will not do this mistake now, because we understand that if we analyze the Aeolian, Locrian, the Aeolian, Dorian, Phrygian, and Locrian mode, the minor modes of the modes, or the minor melodic and minor harmonic scale, none of those scales can give us those precise chords, 4 chords, first minor, flat 7, flat 6, fifth 7, flat 9, as they are in the Andalusian cadence. Therefore we should understand first of all that these 4 chords exist on their own, does not come from any scale, although we can play many scales on them. Paco never used Dorian mode for the first minor, but used more of an Aeolian if he will play a modal thing or describe this chord, this melody, etc. This will be details that we will discuss later on. But for now, it's enough to know that even if we can use minor melodic, minor harmonic, or any scale over the chords, those chords themselves do not come from any scale at all. There is no scale that can fit these four. So having cleared that thing, now we know that flamenco has four chords. First minor, flat 7, flat 6, and fifth 7 flat 9. These four chords are the basics of all the harmony aesthetics in flamenco, and that did exist also before Paco de Lucia. So what we will see in the next videos is how Paco did expand this harmony and make it like a bigger vocabulary to say more things. So therefore, the contribution of Paco de Lucia, or one of the major contributions of Paco de Lucia, is that he implemented or added more chords which made richer, make it become a rich thing about these four chords, what can be around those four chords, especially from the two more important chords here, which of course these two chords, even two notes of the, if I just play the tonic of those two chords, flat 6 and fifth 7 flat 9, if I just do, this itself defines the style of flamenco. If I go anywhere to Alaska or anywhere and I pick the guitar and do just with those two chords, people will say ole. Why? Because these two chords define the aesthetic of flamenco. So 1, 2, these two chords, right? Flat 6, fifth 7, flat 9. So before Paco, this exists only this way, and Paco expanded this territory here and added many things, different ways to go to this chord, which is the main chord. It's important to understand about these four chords is that these four does not come from any scale, and that from these four chords, the two more important ones is flat 6, the degree flat 6 is second best, and the very best one, or more important, the main guy, so to say, in the Andalusian cadence is the fifth 7 flat 9. In fact, so many people confuse that here we are on the key of B, because they keep hearing like this, and they never hear, sometimes in some pieces there is never mentioned or is not played the first minor, all the chords, just two chords probably sometimes. And then people say, well, what is this? This is not, the tonic is not there. It doesn't matter. But here we are in the key of E minor. This thing we do, although this does not come from any scale, we explain this way because this is the only way that we can explain the harmony and do not create any weak conclusion or flaws. Ultimately, if we don't say that this is the first minor here in this case, at some point we will find inconsistencies in the mathematics of harmony. So it's just so complex to try to say these things. Therefore, the best way is that we do simple things, as simple as possible. Music is already complex, and there is no need actually. Also, Paco was agreeing with this point that although the main chord in flamenco is the dominant chord, the fifth degree, the degree 5, 7 flat 9, this is the main chord here. It's just logical, it makes things very simple, and it is the way it is in mathematics, 2 + 2, 4, and that's it. The main chord is 5, 7 flat 9, but here the key is E minor in this case. Just like if we are playing here, the key is D minor. Even if we don't play, it doesn't matter with the keys D minor. This is a flat 6, 5, 7, flat 9. So the main chord, the most important chord in flamenco is the 5, 7, flat 9 chord in any key. In this case, we will talk about all this stuff in E minor to keep things simple. So first minor, flat 7, flat 6, and 5, 7, flat 9. Of these 4 chords, the more important ones are this and this in the first place, the 5, 7, flat 9.
Me ayudó porque descubrí ahí la improvisación. La improvisación es algo que yo pienso que cada músico del estilo que sea, del clásico, del flamenco, de cualquier otra música, debería aprender, porque en la improvisación te da mucha libertad y a la vez te da mucho conocimiento de dónde estás tocando, de cómo estás tocando, de qué armonías están en cada momento, ¿no?
Muy bien. Pablo. Sí, Paco, ¿qué es para usted la música popular y qué es la música elitista?
Yo creo que la música elitista es el refinamiento de la música popular. Por ejemplo, el flamenco. El flamenco originalmente es una música popular, la música del pueblo de Andalucía. Pero creo que ya no le pertenece más al pueblo, porque de pronto habemos gente que nos hemos pasado toda una vida encerrados, puliendo esa expresión popular. Entonces ha llegado a un nivel en el que el pueblo ya no tiene esencia, sobre todo a los matices que vamos consiguiendo la gente como yo, que nos pasamos muchas horas elaborando esa música.